Tell you that there is a particular thing as a parent we do that is ruining our children's life and we don't actually know. What if I tell you that there is one mistake your son could do and it will ruin him for life? What if I say that that mistake, if being taught early, will save your child? This is the power of consent. You see, even while we cannot talk about sexual education and not talk about consent. One of the things that is actually destroying our male children or putting them in trouble these days is lack of what they call power of consent. You see, in my country, in Nigeria, where I am, consent is something that we don't actually sit down to think whether it is important or not. When a girl tells you no, most time our males feel that, oh, the girl is actually saying maybe or yes. Here in my country, you hear, oh, when the girl says no, it means yes. When the girl says yes, it means no's and all. And meanwhile, they just interpret it wrongly because there is no law, nothing backing it up to say when you don't seek consent, you go in for it. Like there was a day I was watching TV or the social media, I mean, on Facebook, and there was a guy that was arrested in the UK because he never seek consent before approaching the lady. And to him, a sharp Nigerian guy was like, well, is we are friends, we are girlfriend and boyfriend, so I didn't do anything wrong. And they were like, no, this is a complaint and you never seek consent. It sounds strange to him because he was never told what consent is or how consent could have saved him or harmed him in a way. So parents, it is high time we start teaching our children concept that it is important for you to ask your partner, should I, can't I? And if the person said yes, then you can go about it. You see, outside Nigeria or in the advanced world, you find out that it's a big crime for you not to seek consent. Anybody that lays accusation on you that no, you take due advantage, they never said yes to you, they never said no, you might go in, you might pay in with years in jail. And this is one thing that our men here, when they leave this country and go to another country where these laws are strong, you find out that they find it difficult. They find it difficult to cope. Instead, they keep seeing themselves entering issues upon issues, and before you know what, they will start telling you they never know, they fell because they were boyfriend and girlfriend or they were in a relationship, and it means that he has the power to do anything they want to do. So this is me telling you now that in aspect of talking about sexual education, consent is very important. And as a parent, it is high time we start telling our boys how to seek consent. And let me tell you, one of the advantage of seeking consent is not just because it's going to put the boy into a big trouble. It is because you are raising a strong man that will be able to stand when somebody says no, when a woman says no, and also able to respect another person's boundary. It can be a boy, it can be a girl, and the person is telling you no, I don't want, and you are able to say, oh, since he said he doesn't want, since she said she doesn't want, let's respect the boundaries. And that is one thing, one culture we as parents we've not actually imbibed in our children. This is Nigeria. Anything can actually happen and we can get away with it. But remember, tomorrow, what if something happens and takes that child out of this country and take him to where consent matters? Then you start seeing issues. Then you will be called upon and say, your son, your daughter did this and this, and because of consent. So, because it will save your children, your boys from trouble. That is one of the reasons why you should start teaching your boys consent. You see, apart from getting the girl pregnant, which is normal in sex education, it will be able to deliver your child from future trouble. And when a girl tells your boy, no, I am not, I don't want, he will quietly take it because he knows that the girl has not given consent. And once you don't teach your boys consent, and any girl tells the boy no, he feels that he has broken the guy's ego or he has I don't know how to put it now, broken his elbow. So you find out, you start seeing the boy planning with other people to say, how can he tell you no? It is not like that. Ah, we must deal with the girl, or we must do so, so and so. But once these boys understand the concept, understand what it means to say no, they let go because they don't, the person as at that time don't actually want it. Another thing that it will save your sons from is because it will save them from harm and also being manipulated by their friends and their peer pressure. You see, because if it will save them from their friends pressuring them to do what they ought not to do. And someone will ask me, how would consent deliver a child from peer pressure and doing harm? Imagine a friend or a classmate is telling your son, go and touch that girl, touch her here and touch her there, and let's see how she will react, or she will not react, anything will not happen. Then you see that boy, knowing what consent mean, instantly will say no, except she tells me to touch, and if she gives me go ahead before I can do it. You see how it's not saving your son from trouble and peer pressure. And some, if you know, when these children they play in school, they play some silly games that you see them do it, nothing will happen, and the other person will go, and the next thing there will be issue. But if your son is taught the power of consent that you must take permission before you do some certain things, then you see your son not being a victim of peer pressure. See, above all, that these or concept of a thing will help your child. It will also help you as a parent, knowing fully well that you are raising a future or a generational man that generations will be proud of. That is why I will always say that you see some men, the way they behave towards women, and anybody that marries that man feel blessed because the way the man does things, it was upbringing, and actually it was the way he was parented. He was parented to always treat woman right and to seek consent for some certain things. This also happens to even in marriages, that most time we feel, oh, because we are married we can do anything and without taking consent. That is where the problem. How can us, even the married ones, don't even know that we need to seek consent? Talk less of telling the children that you must seek consent before you do some certain things. So, in as much as we are trying to talk about sex education and parenting our boy child, well, consent is one very important thing that will have to chip in if we must do a proper parenting. Because of what use is you parenting when you cannot tell your son about consent? And if you are watching this video today and you have sons and you know that you've not actually raised them up about telling them about consent, please start doing so, because it will help them, not just because not to pregnate again, it will protect them against bullies, it will protect them against issues, and it will make them become the man that people will envy. And please and please and please, as a parent, try as much as possible to introduce consent as they are growing up, right from age 7, age 8, age 9. Tell them what consent is, that they should always ask, can I? At this stage, because they are able to differentiate between what is good and what is bad, you should be able to tell them, when you want to do this to your sister, you should ask. Then from age 12, 13, 14, you should be able to tell them how to respond to boundaries, how to behave when they how to set boundaries, or when somebody set boundaries, act to act. No, I don't want this. You should be able to respect that person's boundaries, that person's wish and all. With this, you are raising not just a good man, you are raising future generations that will come back to bless you, because you have actually raised up a man. And once you raise a good man, you've raised up a good generation. This is the power of consent, not just to you, to the family, and to the boys you are bringing up. It will help them, and their spouses will be wowed because a mother did a good job, a father did a good job. So consent should be one thing that should be embedded in our parenting job. Have a nice day, and thanks for subscribing.